Good morning!
Hi guys, I'm Taran Daniel.
My name is Daniel Duenas.
And this is Channel TDS.
Your destination for all things coffee.
Well, welcome back guys. It's Monday.
It is Monday.
And we are releasing another video for you guys.
That we are.
And we decided that we would kind of showcase one of our favorite brew methods each and just chat a little bit about coffee.
So today we're going to be talking about the specific methods that we are using at home when we make our own cups of coffee every morning at 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. or noon, depending on who you are. So I'm going to be showcasing the Bonmac. It's a pour over method and it makes a very simple and very clean, delicious cup of coffee. Taran?
Super cool. I'll be showcasing one of my favorite, which is the AeroPress. It has the in-between of a very full body and then a really lighter, clean tasting coffee. It's right in between and it's a real favorite of mine.
Delicious. Let's get started.
Delicious.
So, this is a Bonmac. It's a little pour over guy. Mine's made out of ceramic. It's kind of like a cone drip filter.
You ever feel like you would ever drop that and shatter it all over the place?
I'd be so sad.
I'm sorry, I need to drop something.
Like, I'd be so sad. Here's the thing. It's got this fun little logo on it. Shoo.
Love the logo.
Right. This is from Blue Bottle. Blue Bottle is the company that actually introduced me to the Bonmac many years ago. I even have my own little like Blue Bottle swag pen going on, and I'm pretty excited about it. This is a pin, not a pen, by the way. Self-correction. So, the only thing that you guys are gonna need to make a Bonmac, very simple, is your Bonmac, something to catch it with. You could use your cup if you wanted to. I have this fancy little vase here that I'm gonna use. A number 2 filter, hot water and coffee. So I've already weighed my coffee out. We'll geek out on how to figure out how much to weigh for your coffee, what grind setting and things like that on another video. Today, just take my word for it, I have enough coffee in here. So let me go grind this out. I've got my freshly ground coffee, and I've got my kettle of hot water. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna wet my filter. I wanna make sure that I get all the delicious coffee in my cup and not in my filter. I'm also doing this to kind of heat up my Bonmac and heat up my container because coffee loves heat, it loves to stay hot and sexy, like Taran.
That's just so nice of you.
You are. You're the pretty one. Everybody knows it.
That is...
You're the pretty one.
It's all the scruff. Ladies love the scruff.
So, here's a fun divide. A lot of people will use a scale to weigh out how much water they're actually using for their coffee.
Gotcha.
I myself am not going to do that because, to be perfectly honest, I'm sure there are a lot of you out there that don't have a gram scale in your kitchen yet.
Right.
You will be inspired to get one because it's going to help you make an amazingly consistent cup of coffee, but for your morning cup of joe, no scale is going to be just fine. We're going to walk through this process together. First thing I'm going to do, now that I have my coffee grounds in my wet filter, is I'm going to pour just enough hot water to make sure everything is wet. Notice I'm not dumping a bunch of water in there, but I'm slowly pouring it so I can get everything saturated. So, notice I poured and then I stopped. And I'm gonna wait anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. I could be using a timer at this point if I wanted to, but again, I'm being totally honest, this is actually the process that I use to make my cup of coffee every morning. I'm not using a timer, I'm not using a scale. Do I know how? Yes. Will we geek out on why in the future? Absolutely. This is one of the reasons why I love this brew method. It's been about 30 to 45 seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and pour a bit more water, and I'm gonna bring up my water line to about an 3/4 of an inch away from the top, and I'm gonna let that drip. One of the reasons why I love this brew method is because it's super easy. It's like so hard to mess this up. You're just like, pour water, let it drip. Once it gets down to about a thumbs below your coffee line, get some more water in there, nice and slow, like Usher. I just wanna take it nice and slow.
It seems like you're really experienced at this, like you taught a lot of classes on this.
I may have done this once or twice.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blue Bottle for an amazing career experience. I miss you guys, I love you. To everybody out in New York who's watching, mwah, besos. We're almost there, fam. We're gonna get another pour in here.
So total, how many pours did we do for this guy?
So in total, to pay homage to Blue Bottle, I did what's called a 4-phase brew.
Gotcha.
And that means I had 1 phase, which was my initial pour to get everything wet and saturated, and then I did 3 more pours to get all of that delicious coffeeness out of there. In total, we've been talking for a little bit, but this whole brew method has only taken us about 3 minutes.
Right.
So it's pretty sweet because once you have your rhythm going, you have your grinder, you know, you have your coffee that you love, and you have your kettle all warmed up, it's a super quick way to make a cup of coffee, but it's also very therapeutic. I like a little morning ritual. I like a little time to just kind of woo-saw, that steady pour, watching the water flow down into my coffee and watching it drip to the last drop.
It is very therapeutic.
Isn't it? I love it.
Really is.
This is going to yield about 12 fluid ounces of coffee, or for your average drinker, 1 cup, which is kind of funny because in the rest of the world, 1 cup of coffee is only about 6 ounces. In America, it's 12. So do with that what you will. America. So now I get to remove this guy because it's all done dripping. And it'll be like Rihanna, and I'm gonna pour it up.
Pour it up.
Pour it up. I smell, it smells delicious. And here's something that you can just come to expect with the Bon Mac. Again, it's a pour-over method. It's got a nice filter on it, so it's gonna remove dinginess from the coffee.
Right.
You're not gonna get a lot of residue or sediment, so there's not gonna be texture. It's just gonna be a clean cup of coffee. But you are still gonna get some body. It's gonna be a little bit more brighter. It's gonna be a little bit more high notes, not super bodied, unless you get a really like full bodied, darker, robust cup of coffee to start, or coffee beans to start with. So anyway, that is my way of making my morning cup of coffee every day.
Awesome.
So cheers to you guys.
Cheers.
Your turn.
My turn.
Your turn.
Sweet guys, now I get to share with you my favorite method. I say favorite, it's slowly becoming my favorite, which is the AeroPress. What's neat about this guy, you can pick it up at Target for about 30 bucks. It just comes in one full package. You got your plunger, you got your stir stick, you got your paper filters, and what's neat about this brew method is you can travel a lot with it. You're on the trail and you're exploring to be able to provide fresh coffee for your friends. This is a great way to do really quick and easy, amazing tasting coffee. You can even get like a hand grinder for the trail if you don't want to like pre-grind it, which I also have here. Start cranking on it, and it's sweet. So to get started, I got this little cap. I'm gonna put my paper filter, click it in, set it right here, pre-wet it, let that drip through, and I'm gonna grind some coffee. The thing that I like about this, getting that full body experience, but it's not super like murky. There's not a lot of sediment in it. It's still going through a paper filter, just clearing a lot of that out. It's like that really nice in between that I prefer. So shaking it up so it's nice and flat. It's not all bumpy.
I was gonna try and make a sexual pun with bumpy, but I have nothing.
Bumpy is not a term that we use a lot.
Would a woman be insulted if you called her bumpy? Would a man be insulted if you called him bumpy?
It's a experiment. The great thing about the AeroPress, you don't have to weigh it because it has these really handy numbers. With what I'm doing, I'm just going straight to the top. Super easy. I want to make sure all the grounds are completely saturated. And so I'm going to do one quick stir just to make sure that all the grounds are saturated. Set this plunger on top to keep it from completely brewing. The timer for 3 minutes.
One of the things that I actually really appreciate about you doing this is when I was first introduced to AeroPress, it was super intimidating because it's like gizmo, gadgets, and stuff.
A lot of little parts.
Yeah, it seemed like it, but after watching you do it, I'm just like, oh, that's all very simple. And I really love that you just had a, you know, one and done kind of a pour. So I'm into that.
This all packages super nicely and compact. You can get like a travel bag. Literally, all you have is this. Take it out while you're camping, say, all right guys, let's make some fresh coffee, and it's all right here.
I would never take it out camping because you're gonna be hard pressed to find me camping anyway. But it would still be a great way to make a cup of coffee in the morning if I wanted to change it up a little bit.
All right, so now we're about 1.5 minutes, and I'm going to open it back up, and I'm gonna break down that bloom. Make sure all those particles are fully saturated. Set this guy back on top.
To me, this really strikes me, because you keep talking about camping and stuff, as like the new cowboy coffee, the new way to like really be like a, I don't care about being off by a gram or two, I don't care about missing, you know, this, that, or the other. It's just like, I just need some coffee in the morning. Boom.
Totally.
That's how quick it was. Like, that's how quick that was.
Super quick.
Super quick.
Now I'm gonna apply some pressure. I'm gonna brew it. Some good resistance here. It's not too much where I can't push, but it's not just like going right through, which is telling me this coffee's fresh, and we got some CO2 gases fighting it.
That honestly sounds like when I poop. Not too much resistance. Got some good gases going through.
Another thing that I love about this brew method is how easy the cleanup is. Take the cap off like so, and I'm just gonna pop it in, and it's all done. And I'm ready to pack this away and drink some coffee and keep hiking.
And I feel like in light of being the now dubbed cowboy coffee brew method, it's only appropriate that you drink this out of a mason jar.
All right.
Delicious.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right. Everybody out there, thank you so much for joining us today on Channel TDS. We had so much fun showing you a little bit more about ourselves and our personal favorite brew methods. You're probably wondering, what kind of coffee are they actually using? Taran, what kind of coffee are we actually using?
One of my favorite coffees currently, this is a Nicaragua from one of our shops that we just paid a visit to. The way that they processed it is something that you probably haven't heard of.
Where's it from?
Heritage Coffee Roasters. That's not what it's called. I always do that.
Next week, this beautiful coffee company called
Heritage
Roasting Company.
I always say coffee roasters, but it's, if you look that up, you get some Icelandic, like
Alaskan?
Alaskan, like coffee shop's been around for 100 years. So it's Heritage Roasting Company, and they are in Shasta Lake.
And we're gonna be able to talk to you all about them next week.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. And as always, remember to
like and subscribe. Oh, and also, don't forget, tell us about your personal favorite brew methods in the comment section below.
We will see you guys next week at 8 a.m. Monday morning.
Woo-hoo!
And remember, guys,
until then, stay on that grind.